Now, I went to Menards, I went to Home Depot, went to some other hardware stores, and there's nowhere in Brainerd Lakes area that has this. Now they have the dryer, two 20-volt hookup adapters and assorted others, but nothing for a welder, which kind of surprised me, you know, especially for where I live. So I ordered this on Amazon, and I was reading through the comments. You know how you order something on Amazon, they have the comment section, the rating section, and there was a bunch of people on there saying you cannot buy these kind of welder plugs at the store. So I don't know why that is, but I didn't believe them, and I went and looked anyways, waste of time. So I just ordered this, and boy, did it come quickly. It came in a day. I was kind of surprised by that, but this goes to my Chicago Electric spot welder, because professionals all have this stuff, you know. Anyway, I know nothing about electricity, but I do know that there's only 3 wires and the green is the ground. That I know, and I think for this, the red and the black are both going to be hot, so I don't, something like that. It has directions. Okay, I'm pretty sure that mine's a 50 amp circuit, and it has all these directions on here, and they all hook up the same way, so I guess it's kind of like a no-brainer. I guess if you're afraid of electricity, you shouldn't buy it. Just take it back, or maybe hire an electrician, or read the directions, and it only takes once to screw this up, and then that's, yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's fancy. Never used it before, till now. All these wires came with some, you know, crimped on the end. So I'm just cutting that off. I don't think that's for a different application, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it has to be. Okay. So easy, even a schlep like me could do it. All right. So if any of you guys are curious, I will admit I had to kind of stare at these things for a while to figure out how to use them, wire strippers. So this is like kind of preset. So what it's best, I usually just take that, pull that out and push it down so it's not in the way. So you can kind of look to see where to cut the wire. And then all you do is you take the wire, you lay it along the top like that, and then you just grip it. And you pull it out. You see that? And there's your exposed wire. It's a pretty nice little tool. What? What happened? Now there's 2? Yeah, I got 2 of them. One for your standard 220 welding outlet, 240 volts. And one for a regular household outlet. These were on sale at Harbor Freight for $129.99 each. I guess if you can only buy one, I would go with the 240 volt and spend the 10 bucks on the plug through Amazon. But I've been hearing great reviews on both of them, and I don't want to be tethered to one place to operate the 240 volt one. So this one I can take anywhere and use any outlet, or generator for that matter. So I've only been a hobbyist doing this for 2 years now, and at my age, I think it's kind of neat to just keep busy. Just keep busy. So I'm really looking forward to making some things with these Harbor Freight Chicago electric spot welders. So let's give them a real quick test run for the first time, and hopefully nothing will blow up once I plug it in, and see what happens. See how they operate. So I have some scrap metal pieces that I've been heating up by the diesel heater, and I'll have to clean them up because they're kind of rusty and crusty, but we'll use these to run some tests on the spot welders. Well, it's not too bad out here this morning. It's only -4 degrees. Yep, that's below zero. So I got 4 pieces of steel. I'm just gonna flap them out. I don't think these spot welders work that well unless you clean up the metal. I probably should get a clamp. Heck yeah, it's cold. Woo! We adapt. Guess it's what you'd expect for January in the north. So yeah, this has got some, this old scrap metal I had's got some kind of paint and rust all over it, so yeah. Best to just get it off. That way, when we test these machines out, we'll know it isn't that, right? All right. Heck with that. Yeah, one of the lessons I've learned in the past, with my very first welder, my house failed 110 flux core wire welder, was that you want to make sure your steel is clean to rule out any other thing, to rule that out right away if something isn't right or something isn't working. So this, like I said, this has got some kind of goop all over it, paint, rust, everything else. And it's the only scrap steel I have laying around. This kind of looks like stainless steel. So, as soon as I get this cleaned up, we'll try both of them out. Yeah, what I've been using these old scrap pieces of steel for is spacers to level things out, and they work pretty well for that. So I'll spot weld a few of these that I cleaned up and see if we can pry them apart you know, things like that to see how strong the weld is. But we don't want to wreck too many of them because I use these a lot. But we can spare 4. We can spare 4. We'll try the 240 volt first. And just so there's no confusion out there, I am a hobbyist. I'm a hobbyist. I've never operated one of these in my life. So there's that. Let's see how it works. We'll try, like I said, the 240 volt first. Hope I wired it right. Here goes nothing. Okay, nothing blew up. Safety glasses. I hear these things can spark. 240 volt. Well, they say, the directions say you should use vice grips to hold it in place because you don't want to use this as a vice grip, but I wired it right. Okay, that was a 240 volt. Let's see if we can break it apart. Oh, that's impressive. Okay, that's not going to break apart. Oh wait, let's hammer this back down and do a couple more 240 volts before we move to the 120. I'm liking this. There's just a little trigger here. You just flip it either left or right, and the minute you let go, it stops. So it doesn't stay on when you click it. It just on and off. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to switch it. As soon as you take your hand or your finger away, it shuts off. And this, like I said, this is, yeah, I can do it. I've never done it before. Unlike stick welding and TIG welding, which is a lot harder, right? Now this has a 50% duty cycle, and it says on here up to 5 seconds in use followed by 5 seconds off. So yeah, there's that. You can kind of judge while you're doing this whether there's penetration or not, just by the feel of it. This is badass. Definitely a keeper. So, if a schlep like me can wire this plug up, which I've never done before, and it worked out, then I suppose you could too. Anyway, let's try out the 120 volt one now. I gotta say, I think this is cool. This is really cool. That is there. That's not coming off. So, yeah. Let's try this one now. And we'll do the pry test on this one too. You can definitely feel the difference between 120 and 240. This is the 120. Maybe I should hold it on a little longer. All right, see if we can break it apart. Sweet! Hey, that's just as good with this steel as the 240 volt. You know, this has an adjuster on it. We'll unplug it, and I don't like that being that wide. I like to grip it a little tighter. So now that I unplugged it, well, there's these screws right in front of the handle that you can adjust to your liking. That seems better for me there. And then it has this Allen wrench top stop screw right here. They're both the same. All right, plug her back in. Now, I don't know any of the technical terms for any of this stuff, so I do know that your trigger finger is closer to the trigger the farther down your handle is, so it's a little easier to operate. And like I said, you can kind of, or at least I can, get a feel for when it's penetrating and when to stop. I guess you could kind of pulse it too. So if one straight trigger pull isn't your thing, you could kind of turn it on and off, and kind of pulse it. That went through the breaker. I could hear it break. I don't know why the last one threw the breaker, but it's not now. One of the reasons that I wanted these spot welders is because I have accumulated some of this sheet metal from the scrapyard. Not a lot, but some. And I want to use it. And I want to use it in a few upcoming projects. So I think that it'll help those projects go a lot smoother than putting a stick or a MIG to this. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So we'll see y'all on the next one. God bless.